Zane, talking about building your brand, before we got on, you had mentioned you just got done with your tryout. So, in terms of building your brand and being a wrestler and coming up as a wrestler, was professional wrestling something that was on your radar? Were you looking maybe some MMA? Have you dabbled in that? Like, where did all this come about for you?
Uh, Truthfully, professionally wrestling was not on my radar at all. I just thought I always thought I had like the personality and like the go-to effort for it and everything like that and the look, but I never thought that I would have the opportunity to even come close to even trying out or even be considered for it at all. But I think mainly in college, I considered a lot of MMA and like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. There's a big growing of that in like the South and like everywhere. And I was like, similar to wrestling, I could do it. Like it's nothing different. Just gotta learn a little bit more about it. And I think building my brand around that is really key. But just with this opportunity I got recently is definitely gonna be life changing if I get the position or whatever it may be. But if I don't, it's all right. Like it's just awesome to be considered for it and just to know that I was the only NAIA guy there at the tryout. I was the only small school kid there at the tryout, and definitely changed a lot for me. I would say helped me be more confident in myself to be able to brand myself a lot better. That I could do more being just a small town school guy. Like at a small school and that's NAI, like you can do a lot more with just whatever you work with, I guess.
And did the opportunity, how did you get the opportunity?
Truthfully, like they just hit me up on Instagram and I was like, I wondered if it was fake. I was
Think
like,
you're
is this
getting
fake?
catfished?
Yeah, I was getting catfish. I was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, ain't no way. I was like, and then looked into it and I was like, oh, it is real. So they they just hit me up out of Instagram. They saw me on like a Flow Wrestling video or whatever, I guess because we beat some school. I think we beat Lander that duel and they saw me do the Hulk Hogan like to the crowd and I think that really got their attention with that. So I think that's yeah.
Was it the NXT account? Was it Shawn Michaels who reached out to you?
It was the WWE next. It was like some tryout account thing. It was
Uh,
verified, so I was like, all right, this is pretty neat. Like this is definitely different for me. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then so yeah, they just hit me up through that, and then I went through like an interview process where they just got to know me a little bit, and then I went through how to do all the physicals, the blood work, everything for it, and got it all done, I guess. Yeah.
how long was the tryout? Was it just one
Oh
day?
no, it was a 2 day tryout. It went from what was it? We they flew us out there on Tuesday and we left was it Friday? Yeah, we left Friday morning, so it was 2 days. But uh we tried out Wednesday and Thursday. It was all day sessions.
Now, was it like a combine or they have you in the ring doing bumps, doing forward rolls and stuff like that?
The first part of the thing was more of a combine scenario, and then we got into the wrestling drills and everything like that. It was pretty neat. And then we normally finish the day out with promos and stuff, so it was definitely different but cool.
Who'd you work with?
They all just kind of had us in there. So there was like 50 of us and like 25 men, 25 girls, and then we just kind of all went through like a rotation. They had like we had like numbers and stuff labeled on us. And then so they were just kind of just watching you and like they would critique you on certain things. Definitely different for me on certain of the roles. Like I wasn't so accustomed to rolling in that certain way. And it definitely threw me off a little bit, but on the second day I picked up on everything quite well and I think I did a pretty good job.
Who who were like the coaches or the personnel that was running it?
Uh I can't remember I know Shawn Michaels was in charge of it as well. It was really cool meeting the Heartbreak Kid. That was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. But I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But there was a lot of like they're all with the NXT. So basically if I make
Matt Bloom, one of the people.
yeah,
Big.
he was
Yeah.
the yeah, that's his name. He was the head Sancho and all that.
All right. And with the promos, was it kind of, hey, freestyle, like, kind of like a rap battle type deal where it's like, hey, talk shit on
Ah,
this person, like sell us
no,
yourself?
Not necessarily, honestly. The first day promo was just kind of telling you about yourself and just, but not explaining all the. I'm not going to explain all the details because I don't know if they really want us to. But the first day was mainly just telling about yourself and sorts, and then the second day promos were like sort of like you had an individual one and a group one, and they were all pretty good. Honestly, it was definitely an experience that is unique.
And when sorry, I'm hogging all the questions here, Rich. When are you gonna find out? Do you know?
They said either sometime this week or next week that they'll let us know. So we will see.
Now, I know you said you weren't that big of a wrestling fan. If the WWE isn't the opportunity, would you pursue it and go through the indies and stuff like that? Or is it kind of like, hey, if I get this opportunity at WWE, I'll take it, but I'm not really trying to do it the hard way?
Yeah, I think that I mean I was a big fan growing up as like a kid, and like I just kind of fell off when I got older and got more interested in girls and stuff like that. So I was a little bit not so much interested in wrestling in like middle school, but I was a big fan of it like in elementary school and everything like that during like the Attitude Era. But when I got older, I just kind of like fell off with it and just didn't really keep up with it as much. But I think if the opportunity comes where I could get some other sort of like position in that, but I think it's either like WWE or bust at this point with that. I'd rather at least try that. And if they don't like me, it's okay. I mean, like if they want me to come back at a later date, that's a possibility for me to come do. But as of right now, I need to focus on if I do not get picked or whatever, I'll focus on getting my master's and pursuing something else.
Was it with the athletes, especially on the guys' side, were they all mostly wrestlers, or were there some football guys or some other sports?
I think there was probably only about 4 or 5 wrestlers there, like college wrestlers. They were all Division 1, and then mainly else was like football, I believe. I think those are the only other sport, football and um, I can't really remember, but I believe football mainly was the other sport.
All right.
There were some giants there, and I actually, I definitely didn't, I wasn't the tallest one, honestly. I'm only about 6'1", 6'2", and I normally stand pretty tall with my teammates and stuff in like a normal wrestling society. But then when I went to that, I was like, man, I feel like a midget compared to these guys.